Hello, good morning, everyone. Okay, we'll start the topic. So today's topic is that is part 3, gynoecium. Now let's just recollect. Let us recollect the points we have seen yesterday. Yesterday we have seen the male reproductive system, androecium. There we have seen that the androecium is made up of stamens, and stamen is having 3 parts: the filament, the connective, and the anther. Then we have seen that the anther is bilobed. Altogether in the anther, you see that there are 4 chambers. Pollen sacs are there, microsporangium. And these pollen sacs containing the pollen grains in the later stage, in the mature stage. And these pollen grains are later on getting released to transfer the pollen grains containing male gametes to the female reproductive system where the female gamete is located. Then we have seen the structure of pollen grain. And there we have seen that in the initial stage, the pollen grain contains only one single cell with one nucleus. Later on, that cell divides and 2 cells are formed. One is smaller cell, the other one is larger cell. Then we have seen that the smaller cell is the generative cell. The larger one is called as the vegetative cell. Through the germ pore, the indene is coming out as a tube, and the cytoplasm and the vegetative nucleus will get into it, followed by the generative cell. On the way, the generative cell is getting divided mitotically and form 2 male gametes, and the tube in which the vegetative nucleus and cytoplasm along with these 2 male gametes we call male gametophyte. So this much we have seen in yesterday's session. Today's session we are going to see about gynoecium, the female reproductive structure. Now look at the slide over there. The slide, you can see a picture. In that picture you see the center innermost region, the center part of the flower. You see there is a structure like this. This structure is known as the gynoecium. Gynoecium is also known as pistil. It has another name. Gynoecium is having another name that is called a pistil. And where it is located in the flower, it is the central structure of the flower. It is seen at the extreme center of the flower. The gynoecium is located there at the center. Gynoecium is surrounded by the androecium. Androecium is surrounded by the corolla. Corolla is surrounded by the sepals. So this is the way the flower arrangement has been done from inside to outside. So we can say the central part, the central structure, the innermost structure of a flower is known as gynoecium. It is also known as pistil. Then in one of the lecture or in the beginning, I told you that flower is a specialized modified shoot meant for sexual reproduction. That means flower is actually a branch. In a branch, you can see there is a stem on which different types of leaves are there, or many leaves are there. So when this shoot bearing leaves got modified for sexual reproduction, we got flower. So flower is what? Is a highly modified shoot meant for sexual reproduction. So in this flower, the calyx, the corolla, androecium, gynoecium, all these are different types of leaves. The sepal, that is one type of leaf. The corolla, the petals, that is another type of leaf. Each unit is considered as a leaf. If 5 petals are there in a corolla, we can say 5 leaves are there, because all the 5 leaves have been modified. If 5 sepals are there, 5 leaves modified. 5 stamens are there, that means 5 leaves are there, because all these structures are basically leaves. So similarly, when you come to gynoecium, gynoecium is also made up of leaves. These are leaves only. And these leaves are highly modified. And this leaf of gynoecium, we can say megasporophyll. If it is stamen, then we can say that is a modified leaf. That leaf is called as microsporophyll. Micro is always related with the male. Mega is always related with the female. So in gynoecium, you can see that there are so many leaves. Not so many, their number is limited, but this leaf is called as megasporophyll. If you have watched the video of Anjali Patel, so you can see that there some mistakes are there in her statement, but don't go into that. Some mistakes here, and I already told you that in the beginning itself. Then in her video, some mistakes here and there, so leave it. There is no issue. But I want to clear it there. The megasporophyll means, mega means that is related to female reproductive system, that is related to female. Sporo means spore. Megaspore means always female spore. That represents female spore. Micro means related to male. Microspore means the spore of male. Then what is this phyll? Phyll means leaf. So megasporophyll means this is the megaspore producing leaf. So the pistil or the gynoecium is made up of megasporophyll. So this megasporophyll is having a technical name that is called a carpel. So we can simply say the gynoecium is made up of carpels. The carpel is equal to megasporophyll. That means a leaf which producing the megaspore. Now, how many carpels are there in a gynoecium? That may vary. Basically, in dicot plant, you can see 5 carpels are there. In a monocot plant, you can see 3 carpels are there. That is a basic number. But this number is the basic one. In some plants, you can see there is only 1 carpel. In some plants, you can see 5 carpels or its multiples. Or in some carpels, some pistil, you can see 3 carpels or its multiples. That means basically number in dicot, normally we say in dicot 5 numbers. Whether you take sepal, 5 in number, petal you take 5 in number, or stamen you take 5 in number, or even it can be multiples of 5. But if you go to monocot, it will be 3 and its multiples. That is the basic, that is the typical number. So in short, the gynoecium or the pistil is made up of carpels, which we call as megasporophyll. Okay. Now you see the carpels or the megasporophyll. If you observe in various flowers, now you see this is a flower. In this flower, this is called as this entire part is known as gynoecium. So if this gynoecium you observe, in this gynoecium you can see that there are so many carpels. But these carpels are free. Now you see the carpels, you can count over here. Each carpel is free. Each carpel we can say that is not joined with any other carpel. So when the carpels are free, such carpels we call as apocarpus. Apo means free. Apocarpus. Example, the plant called Michelia. Okay. So in Michelia plant, you can see that this is Michelia plant. In this Michelia plant, you can see that the carpels are free. So all the carpels are free there. They are individual there. It is totally free. There is not joined with any other carpel. So what is the meaning of Apo, you please write the meaning there in the chat box fast. I'm giving you time to write the meaning of Apo. Please write there in the chat box. Yes. So apocarpus means free carpels, example Michelia. Okay. Now you see there is another type. So these carpels actually I can show you. The second type I can show you there in a transverse section. And for that, I've taken the transverse section of a fruit. So if you observe this, you see that here how many chambers you observe. Please look into this picture. How many chamber, how many lobe you observe here? Please write in the chat box the number. Yes, you see 5 carpels there. I mean 5 chambers there. Each chamber is representing one carpel. Each one is representing one carpel, but these carpels are not free. All these carpels, if you observe from outside, you observe like a single structure like this. If the carpels are free, each carpel will develop into a fruit like this. You will get separate fruits. If 10 carpels are there, you will get 10 fruits. But in this case, here 5 chambers are there. It means 5 carpels are there. But all these carpels are joined together as one unit, and that ultimately developing into one fruit. So this type of carpel we say syncarpus. Even in China rose also it is syncarpus. Brinjal is very common example. So syncarpus. Once I told you the meaning of S-Y-N, syn. What is the meaning of S-Y-N, syn? I told you once. You please write down the chat box its meaning. Fuse. Very good. So syncarpus means fuse. One more word is there, S-I-N, S-I-N, syn. This is S-Y-N. Another word is that S-I-N. What is S-I-N? You have any idea? S-I-N. What is it? No. So S-Y-N is fused. S-I-N मतलब अभी आपको मालूम है हिंदी में बोलते ना पाप करता है, कुछ मिस्टेक किया है, गलती किया है. आपका प्रीस्ट को जाके आप बोलेंगे मैंने ऐसा गलती किया, नहीं तो घर पे बोलेंगे मैंने गलती किया है. ये गलती किया जो बोलते जो हमने पाप किया बोलते हैं. अभी झूठ बोला है, कुछ मर्डर किया है, कुछ चोरी किया है. सो ऐसा जो गलत काम करेगा तो हम क्या बोलता है, हम पाप किया करके बोलता है या फॉल्ट. सो पाप किया करके बोलते हैं. ये जो पाप किया करके जो बोलना है वो जो टेक्निकल टर्म है और वर्ड है SIN, सिन. सिन मतलब पाप किया है. इधर का sin किया है, SYN है. It means it is what is then fused. That means all the carpels are, if how many carpels are there here, all the carpels are fused together as one unit, then we call it as syncarpels. So what I told you so far, the gynoecium is having another name, that is pistil, and a pistil we can say is made up of individual units called or leaf called megasporophyll or carpels. Megasporophyll means the megaspore producing leaf. And in a flower, basically dicot plant 5 carpels will be there, and in monocot 3 carpels will be there. In case of more than 1 carpel, it will be there in 2 different conditions. Either it is there in a free state, then we call it as apocarpus, or it is there in a fused state. The carpels are joined together or united or fused, then it is called as syncarpus. Example, brinjal. Okay. Then now we come to the next part. Next part is that what are the different parts of a carpel. Now you see here I am showing the pistil or this is the gynoecium. All these are gynoecium. 1, 2, 3. All these are gynoecium. Now if you look at the gynoecium, you can see that this gynoecium is having certain parts. Basically, the gynoecium is having 3 parts. How many parts are there? The gynoecium is having, the carpel is having 3 parts. One is ovary, second is style, and third is then stigma. That means in the gynoecium, basic, I mean, at the base you see there is a swollen structure like this. This swollen structure is known as the ovary. Actually, this is the most important part of the gynecium. This ovary is the most important part because this is the structure in which the female gamete is going to be developed. Because inside the ovary, the ovule will be produced. And in the ovule, the female gamete is developing. So the female gamete is developing over here. And so this is the most important part of gynecium. And this part is called as the ovary. And after that, there is a long structure like this. There is a slender tube-like structure you can see over here. And this is known as the style. This is actually a passage. It's a path. Then at the tip of the style, you see a structure like this. Here, in different plants or different species, the stigma is of various nature. Sometimes it will be like this. In some plants, it will be like this. Or in some plants, you can see in another way. It is shown there. So it is different. So the stigma may vary. But what is this stigma? Stigma is the place where the pollen grains are getting received. The pollen grains are received on the stigma. This is the entire female reproductive system. आपको गाइनीशियम याद रखने को वेरी इजी है. गाइनीशियम अभी ह्यूमन लाइफ का कंपेयर करके बोलेगा तो गाइनीशियम G is the first letter. Remember, it is girl. Okay, so that way you can link. So gynoecium is the female reproductive system. In that there is a stigma, and this stigma is the receiving part. So this stigma receiving the pollen grains which are released from the male reproductive system. And this pollen grain is sitting over here and it starts germination. When the pollen grain starts germinating over here, as I told you yesterday, from the pollen grain, a pollen tube is formed. And that pollen tube will go through this style. मैंने बोला ना ये एक पाथ है, एक ट्यूब है. So through this style, a pollen tube क्या करेंगे? ऐसा जाके जाके ultimately where it will enter into the ovary. Now, what is there in the ovary? Look at here. This is a vertical section of the ovary. In the vertical section of the ovary, you see there is a path like this. This is the region. So this is a common area. This common area we can say as placenta. This is known as the placenta. And from this placenta, you see so many small structures are arising. These structures, two pollen tube or one pollen tube. See, ultimately one pollen tube will enter. Even if two pollen tubes are formed, in one pollen tube only male gametes can enter. That means normally we can say pollen tubes are produced, but only into one pollen tube the male gametes will enter, because vegetated nucleus and only two male gametes are produced by the pollen grain. So these two male gametes will not enter into two different pollen tubes. It will enter into one pollen tube only. Ultimately, one pollen tube from one pollen grain will reach over here. Even if another pollen tube is produced, it will not grow further. It will come out and then it will disorganize. Yeah, it will destroy. It will get destroyed. Ultimately, one pollen tube will come. In that pollen tube, two male gametes will be there. So this is the placenta, and ultimately through this style, and the pollen tube will reach over here, and ultimately it will enter into any. What is this? I said these are called as ovules. It will enter into ovules. So, but remember, I think your doubt may be here. So many ovules are there, and if only one pollen tube is coming, only one ovule will be fused. But remember, here the number of pollen grains which are deposited is not one. It may be many. Many pollen grains are deposited over here. All the pollen grains are germinating its pollen tube, and so many pollen tube will get into it. That depends upon the number of pollen grain here. If 100 pollen grains are there, if all the 100 pollen grains are viable, and if they are germinating, and 100 pollen grains will produce 100 pollen tube, and 100 pollen tube will come here. And how many ovules are that many ovules get fertilized because of the male gametes brought by the pollen tube. Okay, so don't make that mistake. One pollen tube from one pollen grain. One pollen tube from one pollen grain. But how many number of pollen grains are deposited over here? Not all the pollen grains are going to germinate, but some pollen grains are germinated, and those that many number of pollen tube will get into it. and ultimately the fusion takes place. But remember, 10 ovules are there and 15 pollen tube has come, means only the male gametes of any 10 pollen tube. That means ovary is coming first and releasing. Those male gametes will fuse with the female gametophyte present in the ovule. So that mistake should not happen. Right? Okay, is it clear to you now? Sashi, it is clear? Sashi, I am waiting for your reply. Yes. Okay. Now what is our point? So this is called as the placenta, and to this placenta, you see these ovules are attached. But ovules are attached by means of a small stalk over here that we will see there in the next part. Okay, and this is called the stalk or funicle that I will tell you later. Okay, so now the parts of carpel, you can see 3 parts: ovary, style, and stigma. And in the ovary, ovules are produced. Now in this picture, if you look at, you can say many ovules are there in the ovary. If many ovules are there in the ovary, for example, you know lemon. If you cut the lemon, आप लेमन कट करके देखो तो आपको वो एक ही सीड मिलता है या बहुत सीड्स मिलता है उसमें से, लेमन से. आप पिक्चर लिखो, मेनी, मेनी शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिखो, मेनी है तो एम लिखो, सिंगल है तो एस लिखो. Okay, you are getting many. Okay, it means in this ovary many ovules are there. If many ovules are there, such ovule we can say multi-ovulate. Such ovule we can say multi-ovulate. But at the same time, our rice ले लो, या आप maize, not maize, rice or wheat, even dicot plant में mango देखो, आम खाते हैं ना, उसका अंदर सीड कितना है? उसका अंदर एक ही सीड है. Even tomato is also example for multi-ovulate. Multi-ovulate का example है, tomato example है, hibiscus example है, even lemon example है. Okay, many examples are there. Even brinjal मैंने पहले आपको दिखाया. Okay, so in uni-ovulate में क्या होता है? एक ही ovule रहता है. So in the ovule, if there is only one, in the ovary, if there is only one ovule, you get only one seed in the fruit also. So in mango, you get only one seed. Mango में कितना seed है? Mango में कितना seed है? Yes, one. इसका मतलब उसमें वो ओवरी का अंदर एक ही ओव्यूल होता है. That ovule we can say, that ovary we can say uni-ovulate. So ये स्लाइड पूरा आपको क्लियर हो गया? मैं रिवाइज कर रहे हैं. ये स्लाइड में मेन पार्ट से, ये प्रीवियस स्लाइड का है, ये मेन पार्ट है. पार्ट्स ऑफ कार्पल 3 पार्ट्स बोला: ओवरी, स्टाइल, स्टिग्मा. मैं आपको ये क्लियर बताया. और ओवरी का अंदर ओव्यूल्स रहता है. ओव्यूल्स आर अटैच्ड टू ओवरी बाय मींस ऑफ प्लासेंटा, by means of stalk. Okay, and the stalk is connected to the placenta of the ovary. और ओवरी में ओव्यूल्स रहता है. इसका नंबर एक हो सकता है, मेनी हो सकता है, और एक है तो यूनी ओवुलेट. मैंगो एग्जाम्पल मैंने बोला, राइस बोला, व्हीट बोला. मल्टी ओवुलेट के एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. उसमें लेमन एग्जाम्पल है, इवन जैकफ्रूट एग्जाम्पल. जो कितना कितना सीड्स मिलता है, सॉरी ज्यादा सीड्स है तो इट्स वेरी सिंपल टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो लेमन कट करके देखो, ब्रिंजल कट करके देखो, लेडीज फिंगर कट करके देखो, इसमें सब में बहुत सीड्स है. सो वी से मल्टी ओवुलेट. मैंने ये जो सीड के बारे में बोलने का कारण, जो ओव्यूल अल्टीमेटली क्या बन जाता है? सीड बन जाता है. अगर आपने एक फ्रूट का अंदर एक सीड देखा तो वो सीड पगले क्या था? एक ओव्यूल था. इसलिए मैं सीड आपको एग्जांपल समझ में आने के लिए बताया है. नाउ वी गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सो इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड यू सी द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ एन ओव्यूल. Okay, now we are going to see the structure of an ovule. When you talk about the structure of the ovule, in your textbook, only one structure is explained. There are different types of ovule. Depends upon the shape, depends upon the position. So different types of ovules are there. But I am going to talk about 2 different types of ovule. That is the most important one. One is called the anatropous ovule. Now you see, this is the ovule. मैंने आपको पहले बोला है, ओव्यूल attached there in the ovary by means of a stalk to the central region which is called as the placenta. So central region में placenta होता है. See, the ovule is attached to placenta by means of a stalk. Okay, नाउ माई पॉइंट इज दैट अभी ये ओव्यूल आप देखेंगे ना, ये ओव्यूल को बोलता है, दिस ओव्यूल इज नोन एज इन्वर्टेड ओव्यूल. It is called as inverted ovule. And this inverted ovule we call anatropous ovule. Now, how it is inverted, you understand? You just look at where is the location of micropyle. If this is called as micro, I will tell you later, I'll explain it. But this opening you see, there is a small passage over here. This passage is known as the micropyle. And if this micropyle is close to stalk, close to funicle, then this is called an inverted ovule, or it is also called as anatropous ovule. What is the other name of anatropous ovule? Please write there the chat box. You just write the first word letter. What is the other name of anatropous ovule? Just now I said. ये इधर slide में मैं किधर भी लिखे नहीं रखा है. What is the other name? What I said just now? No, that is second type. That is second. There are 5 or 6 types of ovule. I'm going to talk about two types of ovules. आपका टेक्स्ट बुक में सिर्फ एक ही टाइप बताया है. That is anatropous ovule. ये anatropous ovule का दूसरा एक नाम मैंने बोला था अभी. Anybody knows? Remember? No. Okay, I will repeat. The other name of this anatropous ovule is that inverted ovule. You आप नोट करके रखो किधर भी, क्योंकि नहीं तो आपको बाद में मेरा ये वीडियो से मिल जाएगा, लेकिन बुक रेफर करते टाइम बुक में किधर भी मेंशन नहीं किया लगता है. सो दिस इज इन्वर्टेड ओव्यूल. इन्वर्ट हो गया है. और एक क्यों एनाट्रोपस या इन्वर्टेड ओव्यूल बोलता है, ये ओवरी खड़ा उल्टा रखा है. क्या बोल रहे हैं? ये ओवरी ये ओवरी उल्टा करके रखा है. दैट मीन्स इसका माइक्रोपाइल कहाँ होता है? फ्यूनिकुलस, स्टॉक का बाजू में होता है. It is just close to funiculus. That is why this ovule is called as inverted ovule. Inverted. Abhi clear ho gaya? Then now you write the term, first letter, write another name of anatropous ovule. Yes, inverted ovule. Okay. Now, what is the second type of ovule? The second type of ovule is called a straight ovule. Straight. एकदम सीधा है. Straight. Straight मतलब ये जो पार्ट है ये सीधा उल्टा हो जाएगा. उल्टा होकर ये क्या करेंगे? ये माइक्रोपाइल, ये चलासा, ये फ्यूनिकुलस, ये तीनों एक सेंट्रल लाइन में आएंगे. मतलब ये सीधा रिवर्स करके माइक्रोपाइल इधर होगा, चलासा इधर होगा और फ्यूनिकल इसका नीचे होगा. मतलब एकदम खड़ा करके रख दिया. आप अपना हेड कैसा जैसा, ओके, अपना सिर कैसा है, अपना हेड, नेक और बॉडी एकदम स्ट्रेट है ना. अभी समझो, दिस इज योर हेड, ओके, दिस इज योर नेक, दिस इज योर बॉडी, ओके. अब इधर क्या हो गया? उल्टा हो गया. इधर हेड आया, इधर नेक है और इधर फ्यूनिकुलस, आई एम सॉरी, द बॉडी है. कैसे? उल्टा हो गया ना. बट हाउ वी आर, अपना हेड इधर है, अपना नेक उसका नीचे है और उसका नीचे अपना बॉडी है. सो ऐसा स्ट्रेट में रहने वाला, ऐसा स्ट्रेट में रहने वाला ये जो ओव्यूल को बोलता है स्ट्रेट ओव्यूल. उसका टेक्निकल नाम है ऑर्थोट्रोपिक ओव्यूल. सो देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ ओव्यूल, ऑर्थोट्रोपस ओव्यूल एंड एनाट्रोपस ओव्यूल. बेसिक मेन डिफरेंस ऑर्थोट्रोपस, ओके. ऑर्थोट्रोपस आप नोट करके रखो. मैं आपका ये असाइनमेंट करके देता हूँ. इसका फोटोग्राफ आपको ढूंढना है, फाइंड आउट करना है, वो मेरे को पोस्ट करना है क्लासरूम में, ओके. सो उसको भी मार्क मिल जाएगा. Okay, so this is called as anatropous ovule, and second type is the orthotropous ovule. And or अलग-अलग type है, but I'm not going to talk anything about that. Okay, so this is anatropous ovule. Now let us see what are the different parts of this ovule. That means we are going to talk about the structure of anatropous ovule. Now, the first part is called, look at here, funicle. Funicle. What is this funicle? अब इधर देखिए आप, funiculus. फ्यूनिकुलस और फ्यूनिकुलर, फ्यूनिकल दोनों सेम है, सिंपल. अब इधर देखिए, व्हाट इज दिस? ये आपका नेक के समझो, ये आपका हेड है, ये आपका बॉडी है, ये आपका नेक है बोलेगा तो आपका ये जो हेड है बॉडी में लिंक करने वाला, कनेक्ट करने वाला स्ट्रक्चर है. am I right? So if the funiculus of the ovule, if you say what it is a unit by which this ovule is attached to this area. What do you call this area? ये area को क्या बोलते हैं? Ovule कहाँ attach होता है ovary में? First letter लिखो जल्दी. ये जो ovule, yes, the ovule is attached to placenta. The ovule is attached to placenta by means of a short neck-like structure, a stalk-like structure, which is called as funiculus or funicle. Now you see there is a region here. That means ये जो ovule ये funiculus से connect हो गया है, joined किया है. ये जो part, that means the part which is connected to attached to the end of the funiculus, which is attached to the ovary, attached to what you can say, the ovule, we can say hilum. So this second part is called as hilum, that is the junction between this ovule as well as this stalk, the funicle. Are you getting me clearly? Are you getting? Yes or no? Yes. So hilum is what? Hilum is the junction by which the funicle and the ovule is getting attached. Okay. Now you see. Now ये part खत्म हो गया. ये स्ट्रक्चर इधर एक वर्ड लिखा है राफे. ये राफे जो बोलता क्या है? आपको सीड देखो तो आपको कोई भी पी का सीड देखिए. So when you observe the seed, you can notice that एक टिप में थोड़ा elongated thick structure आपको देखने को मिलेगा. That is what is called राफे. कोई भी एक सीड निकाल के देखो बाद में, तभी आपको मालूम पड़ेगा यार राफे क्या है करके. Okay. Otherwise we will show. I'll show it later when we come to the part of the seed. Now you see this is the ovule. Now in this much area is known as the ovule. ये इनका stalk था, ये इनका hilum था, लेकिन rest of the part this is called as the ovule. And this ovule is having a structure like this. ये ovule का covering है ये structure. अभी आप देखिए इधर एक लाइन दिखता है, दूसरा एक लाइन दिखता है. ये जो part क्या है? This is the covering of ovule. The covering of ovule is known as indeguments. Okay, the covering of ovule is known as indeguments. This is the protective envelope. लेकिन ये जो इंडगमेंट्स, अब देखिए इधर इंडगमेंट्स बोलता है इसको दो लेयर है, एक आउटर इंडगमेंट and an inner indegment. So two indegments are there, the ovule is having, and each indegment later when the ovule is becoming the seed, वो seed का cover बन जाता है indegments. So two layers are there, an outer indegment, an inner indegment. इसका function यही है, ये अंदर का structure को अभी प्रोटेक्ट करना. मैं अभी का हिसाब से बोलता है, अभी अंदर जो कुछ है उसको प्रोटेक्ट करना है, एक इंडगमेंट्स का फंक्शन. ये पूरा कवर करके है. लेकिन but when it is covering like this, the whole part is covering, this part is covering, this part is covering, this part is covering, the whole thing is covering. But you see that at the tip, this is the actual tip of the ovule. At the tip of the ovule, these indegments never come together. ये दोनों मीट नहीं करेंगे. ये इंडगमेंट का यूनिट और ये पार्ट, ये दोनों फ्यूज नहीं होगा. ये इधर एक छोटा सा गैप ऐसा छोड़ देता है. ये गैप को बोलता है माइक्रोपाइल. So the micropyle, we can say, that is a small opening you see at the tip of the ovule, and this opening is formed in such a way that the indegments are not meeting each other. अब ये इंडगमेंट का एरिया, ये इंडगमेंट का एरिया, they will not meet together. They will leave a small space over here. Why they are leaving a small space over here? When the pollen tube is coming with the pollen. Sakshi, you have written something. Why they do not meet? Who? Acha. Okay. Why they do not meet? I did not understand. I thought about Google Meet immediately. Okay, Janedo, I'm sorry. Okay. So why they are not going to meet? You see, if it is closed, completely covered, you see, this is the female gamete is located here. The female gamete should meet with the male gamete. The female gamete will not go out to meet the male gamete. Male gamete will come into it. So where the female gamete is, the female gamete is always stationary. वो कभी भी stationary है. So कभी भी बाहर नहीं जाएंगे. वो किधर है उधर ही बैठेंगे. वो female gamete के बाजू में male gamete आएंगे. इसका मतलब आपको अभी प्रीवियस स्लाइड में आपने देखा या previous session में देखा, pollen tube is already germinated, pollen tube is produced, pollen tube is carrying the male gametes, and these male gametes come together to egg, come nearer to the egg. Who will bring the male gamete to egg? Nothing else, the pollen tube. And the pollen tube should come here inside up to egg, or it should enter into the egg. Okay, it should get enter into the structure. So if it is completely covered, कैसे अंदर आएंगे? अभी आप अब देखिए, आप बाहर गया है, आप बाहर जाके वापस आते, आपका दरवाजा, घर का दरवाजा लॉक करके रखा. If the door is locked, then how you will get into your house? You cannot get into your house. So the door must be open. अभी समझो, अब जब घर बनाया है तभी डोर कुछ नहीं रखा है, चारों दीवार बांध के पूरा क्लोज करके कंटेनमेंट करके रख दिया, तो how will you get into your house? How can you get into your room? You cannot. So you need a door over there. That is why an entry point is kept over there. Similar manner here, these integuments never meet. ये छोटा सा स्पेस उधर छोड़ देंगे पोलन ट्यूब को अंदर आने के लिए, और ये जो ओपनिंग को बोलता है माइक्रोपिल. इज इट क्लियर टू यू नाउ, साक्षी? इज इट क्लियर नाउ? इट्स ओके, गुड. ओके, नाउ व्हाट आई वांट टू से दैट दिस इज द माइक्रोपाइल. नाउ यू सी द एग्जैक्ट ऑपोजिट ऑफ माइक्रोपाइल. अब देखिए, ये है, ओके, ये आपका ओव्यूल है, ये इनका टिप है, इसका ऑपोजिट एंड क्या है? ये एंड है. व्हाट यू कॉल दिस एंड? Please write the name over there. First letter you write there in the chat box. Let me see whether you are following. You just write there in the chat box what is written here. Just write the first letter. C is written. That means chalasa. So the next part of the ovule is that the chalasa. Where the chalasa is located, just opposite of micropyle. अगर micropyle इधर है तो chalasa नीचे आएगा, वो उसका नीचे फ्यूनिकल आएगा, फ्यूनिकुलस आएगा. ठीक है? So opposite of micropyle, there is a region that is the base of the ovule. We can say this is the base of the ovule. This is what is called a chalasa. Okay, now you see these integuments enclosing an area like this. This area is a tissue. It's totally parenchymatous tissue. In the young condition, this is totally a parenchymatous tissue, and this parenchymatous tissue or this mass of cells within the integuments we call nucellus. So this is the main part of the ovule. मैंने घर का दीवार के बारे में बोला, घर का अंदर का स्पेस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और रूम का अंदर का स्पेस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये उनका वॉल है, ये उनका कवरिंग है, इनका वॉल है वो, लेकिन ये है अंदर का घूमने का जगह या स्पेस. सो लेकिन ये ओव्यूल का अंदर ये जो स्पेस है वहां क्या है? parenchymatous tissue है. This is a mass of parenchymatous tissue, and this mass of tissue we call as nucellus. This is known as nucellus. But if the ovule is in the young condition, you cannot see like this. ये स्ट्रक्चर आपको देखने को नहीं मिलेगा. You will see everything like this when the ovule is there in the young stage. But when the ovule is maturing, when it is got matured, in a matured ovule, you can see a structure like this, very close to micropyle. In the nucellus, close to micropyle, you see a structure like this. This is known as the female gametophyte. ये है female gametophyte, or in short we call it as embryosac. Examination point of view important है. कभी कभी ये लोग पूरा डायग्राम पूछेगा, कभी कभी वो लोग पूछता है खाली एम्ब्रियोसाक का डायग्राम. बच्चों लोग बहुत टाइम मिस्टेक करते हैं. एम्ब्रियोसाक का डायग्राम पूछेगा तो they will draw everything. So if the question is for embryosac, no need to draw everything, you just draw this much only. Yes, structure only. So this is known as female gametophyte or embryosac. So where it is located? It is located inside the nucellus, near to micropyle. So this slide is clear to you. Once again, I'm going to repeat. So this is the anatropous ovule because it is inverted, and it is having a stalk called funiculus by which this ovule is attached to the placenta over here, and then at the junction of the ovule and the stalk is called as the hilum. Then we have seen that there is a covering. This covering is called as integuments. Two coverings are there, outer and inner. And this coverings leaving a small space at the tip, which we call as micropyle, that is for the purpose of entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. Then there is a central mass of tissue. This is called as the nucellus, and inside the nucellus you see a structure like this is called as the female gametophyte or embryo sac. इसका part में detail आपको बताएंगे, आने वाला slide में मैं बताएंगे. So that is why I'm not explaining too much in this. Now you see there is a picture which is there in a textbook. I'm going to show that also, and after that we will go to the next slide. Just look at here. The points are same only. Okay. So this is the diagram which is given in your textbook. You have to practice this diagram. Okay, everything is same only what I told in the previous slide. Okay, plus here only difference is that placenta word is written. In the previous slide it was not there. So this I taken from your textbook. Okay, placenta, funicle, hilum, inner integument, outer integument, the female gametophyte, embryo sac, the female gamete, egg, synergids. मैं explain नहीं किया, वो मैं next class में मैं next slide में explain करूँगा. So this is the embryo sac, this is the nucellus, this is the chalasa. Okay, I hope you understood. Is it clear to you? If it is clear, you write Y. If it is any doubt, you write no. Okay, it's clear. Now we are going to see the next part of this topic. Again, examination point. All these things, what I say, part by part, examination point of view important. Previous slide में आपको questions ऐसा expect कर सकता है. What is the structure of anatropous ovule? Draw a neat label diagram of anatropous ovule, or explain the structure of the anatropous ovule or an ovule, or you can expect question on megasporophyle, or you can expect question on embryo sac or female gametophyte structure, or even so like that. Different questions you can expect from the previous slide. In this slide, what we are going to talk about, how a female gametophyte is developing there in the ovule. So this is what we are going to see there in this slide, that is megasporogenesis. Okay, this is called as megasporogenesis. Now what is megasporogenesis? Yesterday we have seen microsporogenesis. What was microsporogenesis? Short form में लिखो आपका chat box में. कल हमने देखा था microsporogenesis. What is microsporogenesis? क्या लिखा है? क्या हमने देखा कल का स्लाइड में? Any idea? Microsporogenesis. वो वर्ड डिफाइन करे तो आपको वेरी सिंपल है, ब्रेक करेगा तो या microsporogenesis. Micro means what? Microspore. Okay. Sporo means spore. Microspore, that is pollen grain. Genesis means what? Creation, development, formation. So formation of microspore या pollen grain. कहाँ से? From the pollen mother cell. Similarly, in female reproductive system, megasporogenesis is there. Megasporogenesis, again break up करके देखिए word. Genesis, creation या formation या development. Megaspore, that is a female gamete, that is egg. Okay, या megaspore. So megaspore create means develop होने को बोलते हैं megasporogenesis. Now from where it will develop? From the megaspore mother cell. So pollen mother cell है तो microspore mother cell है. So MMC बोलता है उधर भी, लेकिन microspore mother cell है. Female reproductive system में हम लोग microspore नहीं बोलता है, megaspore बोलता है, क्योंकि प्रायोरिटी मेगा को दिया. बड़ा मेगा बोले तो आपको मालूम है लार्जर इन साइज, माइक्रो बोले तो स्मॉलर इन साइज. सो मेल इज कंसिडर्ड एज स्मॉलर एंड मेगा, फीमेल इज कंसिडर्ड एज मेगा. सो फीमेल गैमेट प्रोड्यूस करने को मेगास्पोर मदर सेल चाहिए. सो मेगास्पोर मदर सेल इज रिक्वायर्ड एंड दिस मेगास्पोर मदर सेल इज अंडरगोइंग डिविजन. मेगास्पोर मदर सेल इज अंडरगोइंग रिडक्शन डिविजन, that is meiosis, which results in the formation of haploid megaspore. देखिए याद रखना, दिस मेगास्पोर मदर सेल इज ऑलवेज डिप्लॉयड. मैं कल भी आपको बताया था, मदर सेल बोलेगा तो डिप्लॉयड है. सो मेगास्पोर मदर सेल बोले तो दैट इज डिप्लॉयड. माइक्रोस्पोर मदर सेल इज डिप्लॉयड. बट व्हेन इट अंडरगोस meiosis, what will happen? A diploid condition will be changed to, diploid condition will be turned to या changed to haploid condition. A haploid condition बन जाएगा. and then we say that is haploid megaspore. So is it clear to you the definition megasporogenesis? The process of formation of haploid megaspore from diploid megaspore mother cell is called as megasporogenesis. Now just look at the next line. What is written there? See, in each ovule, okay, that means you can see that only one megaspore mother cell is going to function. That means in the young stage, कल मैंने आपको बताया था अंदर का यंग स्टेज में कैसा था, एक आउटर कवरिंग था, कवरिंग का अंदर कुछ पैरेन्किमेटल सेल्स था, बट लेटर ऑन ऐसा ग्रो होकर आगे जाते टाइम, so one cell is getting specialized. Same manner over here also. So one of the cell, especially the cell there at the micropylar region, especially cell as near to micropylar region, is getting, all these things are happening there in the ovule, in the nucellus. Okay, so this is the nucellus. So in the nucellus and very near to the micropylar region, one cell is getting enlarged, that we can say the archisporial cell, that we can say as archisporial cell. And this archisporial cell, we can say that undergoes, as a picture dekhiye, it undergoes a division and becomes two cells like this. One is called the outer cell, that is the primary parietal cell, and the other one is called as the primary sporogenous cell. Now this primary sporogenous cell is functioning as the megaspore mother cell. So remember, the sporogenous cell is becoming the megaspore mother cell. लेकिन माइक्रोस्पोर मदर सेल का फॉर्मेशन और मेगास्पोर मदर सेल का फॉर्मेशन में एक डिफरेंस है. आप थोड़ा रिकलेक्ट करें तो आपको समझ में आएगा. आप एंड्रूशिया में देखा था, so ये जो sporogenous cells, they are going to divide mitotically many times. A group of cells are forming. So in male part, not one megaspore, many megaspores are there. Sorry, not megaspores, many microspore mother cells are there. And each microspore mother cell is producing pollen grains, yeah, microspores. But in female reproductive system or in the ovule, only one cell, that is the sporogenous cell, is getting enlarged and becoming the megaspore mother cell. So याद रखना, एक ही mother cell होता है. So there will be only one megaspore mother cell. Okay, so single megaspore mother cell in the micropylar region of the nucellus. This is the main difference between male and female. In male, many microspore mother cells are there, but in female, there is only one megaspore mother cell. Now this megaspore mother cell, you see, this is the megaspore mother cell. This is diploid. Megaspore mother cell is always diploid. ये megaspore mother cell क्या करेंगे? Now it undergoes a division called meiosis. It undergoes a division called meiosis, and that results in the formation of 4 cells that is arranged in the form like this. This is called linear tetrad. So 4 cells are produced from one megaspore mother cells. This is what is called as the linear tetrad. So how many megaspores are produced there from one megaspore mother cell now? You just write the number there in the chat box, please. Yes. So 4 megaspores are produced. And what is the genetic constitution of this megaspore? Genetic constitution क्या है? Haploid or diploid? Yeah, haploid or diploid? First letter लिखो जल्दी. Yes, very good. It is haploid. क्योंकि ये megaspore mother cell क्या था? Diploid था. So this is undergone meiosis, and thereby 4 cells are produced, and these cells are haploid, and this we call as megaspore, haploid megaspore. अभी आप next picture देखिए, last picture there. So ये जो megaspore, 4 megaspores, 4 megaspores are there. All these megaspores are not going to be utilized. Out of this 4 megaspore, the megaspore which is centered to the nucellus, central region of the nucellus, is going to enlarge like this. अब देखिए, so this megaspore is going to enlarge. That means this is becoming the functional megaspore, and remaining 3 megaspores. अभी micropyle region में जो है, micropyle direction में जो 3 megaspores इधर रहता है, ये तीनों megaspore क्या करेंगे? They will disorganize, they will degenerate, they will get destroyed. They will get destroyed, and only one megaspore will become functional, and this megaspore undergoing further process and developing the female gametophyte. So ultimately, the female gametophyte is developing from only one megaspore out of the 4. The first 3 are getting disorganized or disintegrated, but only one is going to be functional, and that is becoming the female gametophyte. And so this we say as monosporic. Mono means single. Sporic आपको मालूम है spore का. So one spore is producing the female gametophyte. Only one. The female gametophyte is developed from one spore, one megaspore. So it is called as monosporic. And remaining 3, that becomes waste. Yeah, that becomes destroyed. That degenerated. Okay. Now I hope that you understood this slide also clearly. So just look at this picture. Okay. So in front of us now 1 or 2 slides are left. So we'll finish that and then we'll end the class. Okay. Now you see the functional megaspore I showed there in the previous slide. Okay, now what is going to happen this functional megaspore? Now you see the sequence. A sequence आपको याद रखना. Development of female gamete पूछेगा तो you have to draw this diagram one after the other. So development of female gametophyte. If the question comes, you should be able to draw this diagram stepwise. ये आपका book में से है. Okay. So without fail, you have to see this one very clearly. Okay, so what we are talking over here, then one functional megaspore is ultimately formed from which the female gamete is going to be developed. So this is the functional megaspore. Okay, this is the functional megaspore. Altogether, how many megaspores were produced over there? You please write the number over there. Megaspores इधर count करके देखो. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are there? 3 megaspores actually produce it. And how many degenerated? 3. And how many functional? 1. This functional megaspore is undergoing further divisions. Now you see this functional megaspore is undergoing further division. Look at the diagram. Very simple. ये megaspore का अंदर कितना nucleus है? Please write the number fast. ये फर्स्ट पहला वाला ये वाला मेगास्पोर का अंदर हाउ मेनी न्यूक्लिय हैं? 1. दिस मेगास्पोर न्यूक्लियस इज हैप्लॉइड और डिप्लॉइड? हैप्लॉइड. दिस फंक्शनल हैप्लॉइड मेगास्पोर is undergoing a division. It undergoes a division. Second diagram देखिए. ये diagram देखो आप. Are you able to see? Yes or no? Yes. How many nuclei there इसका अंदर? 2 nuclei are there. How these 2 nuclei are formed? पहला वाला में एक ही था ना. Now second वाला में B picture में आप कितना देख रहे हैं? 2 देख रहे हैं. But how these 2 are produced there? What is a cell division you call? Mitosis. So the functional megaspore nucleus is undergoing mitosis. Okay, it undergoes mitosis, and what is formed? 2 nuclei are produced, right? Now, normal case, you know that if 2 nuclei are formed in one cell, what is the process after this nuclear division? ये दो न्यूक्लियर अगर फॉर्म किया तो ये न्यूक्लियस फॉर्म होने के बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होना चाहिए एक सेल का अंदर? नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होना चाहिए? न्यूक्लियस डिवाइड हो गया, 2 न्यूक्लियर फॉर्म किया, अभी क्या डिवाइड करना है? आप चैट बॉक्स में लिखो, उसका फर्स्ट लेटर लिखो. क्या डिवाइड करना चाहिए इधर एक्चुअली? नॉट सेल, साइटोप्लाज्म. Not cell, cytoplasm should divide, right? So cytoplasm divide हो गया तो this one cell become 2 cells, right? But remember, in this case, 2 nuclei are formed, but cytoplasm will not divide. Cytoplasm will not divide, and so this division we say free nuclear division. Only nucleus will divide. cytoplasm will not divide, cell wall will not be formed, only nuclei are keep on dividing. So how many nuclei there in this cell right now? Look at that please and write the number fast. Vinayak, please count clearly. 2 nuclei, man. So 2 nuclei are there. Okay. Now what is going to happen? These 2 nuclei are arranged in such a way, one nucleus will remain at one end, the other nucleus will remain at other end. So this is the cell and 2 nuclei are there and both the nuclei are arranged there at opposite ends. Got it? So the first mitotic division is over. Now this nuclei again going to divide. Now you look at the third cell. थर्ड डायग्राम देखो. थर्ड डायग्राम में क्या दिखता है आपको? ये न्यूक्लियस डिवाइड हो गया, 2 न्यूक्लियर फॉर्म किया. ये न्यूक्लियस डिवाइड हो गया, 2 न्यूक्लियर फॉर्म किया. नाउ हाउ मेनी न्यूक्लियर ऑल टुगेदर? नाउ 4 आर देयर. सो इसका मतलब इधर एक माइटोसिस हुआ, इधर भी एक माइटोसिस हुआ. कितना माइटोसिस हुआ अभी ऑल टुगेदर? हाउ मेनी माइटोसिस ओवर? 2. नाउ you got a cell in that 4 nuclei are there. Now look at this diagram D. Okay, in diagram D you look at there, how many nuclei here? 4. Either how many? 2. Either how many? 2. Either how many? 4. इसका मतलब ये दोनों nuclei one more time divided. Okay, this one more time divided and got 4 nuclei. This also divided once more and 4 nuclei. So कितना नंबर माइटोसिस हुआ उधर? इधर पहला नंबर हुआ माइटोसिस 1, इधर माइटोसिस 2, इधर माइटोसिस 3. So 3 times the mitotic division is taking place. Yeah, the nucleus is divided and ultimately one structure is formed, one sac is formed in which how many nuclei each? 4 nuclei at this end and 4 nuclei at this end. Now where we reached up to here, right? So one cell and at opposite poles you can notice that 4 nuclei each. Here 4 nuclei and here 4 nuclei. Okay, so ultimately you see first 2 nuclei form here, then divided 2 times and you got 4 nucleated stage and then 8 nucleated stage. Once it happens, what will happen? These nuclei are called as polar nuclei. This is polar. There's 2 poles it is. This is one pole. This is another pole. The nuclei of this is called as polar nuclei. The nuclei of this pole is called as polar nuclei. Now in the next step you see picture E देखिए. So from here one cell is migrating towards the center. यहाँ से एक cell इधर आया. Similarly यहाँ से भी एक cell इधर चले गया. So the cells are arranged in such a way now. From this pole, one nucleus is migrating towards the center. From this pole, another nucleus is migrating towards the center. So ultimately, 2 nuclei are here. And 3 here, 3 here. One nucleus from this pole, another nucleus from this pole. And these nuclei are called as polar nuclei. This is called as polar nuclei. And this polar nuclei is lying there in the center. And after this cell is going to lay down its cell wall. So now you see 8 nuclei are there in one cell, 8 nuclei condition, but immediately after that, what is happening there? The cell wall is going to lay down. The cell wall is going to be laid down around the nucleus. Now you see here 3 nuclei are there and ultimately these 3 nuclei will become 3 cells. Look at it here. Okay, and here 3 nuclei are there. They are also around the nucleus. The cell wall is laid down and finally it becomes 3 cells. Now you see here 3 cells are there. So 3 cells over here, 3 cells over here, and in the center there will be a large cell like this. So in the center there will be a large cell with the 2 nuclei. So at the later stage, at the end of it, you can see that the final female gametophyte is developed. In that female gametophyte, 3 cells are there one end, another 3 cells at other end, and these 3 cells are called as egg apparatus. These are known as antipodals. and in the center there is a large cell. In that large cell, in the beginning there are two nuclei. Later on, just before fertilization, these two nuclei are fused, becomes one nucleus. Then it is called a secondary nucleus. Otherwise, we say this is one cell. This is a structure with 7 cells and 8 nucleated condition. That is written here. The cell wall is laid down and ultimately the female gametophyte is developed. So you can see that 6 of the 8 nuclei becoming 6 cells and 2 polar nuclei in the large central cell. So ultimately the female gametophyte is developed, in which 8 nuclei are there, but the number of cells will be 7. Okay, 7 celled 8 nucleated condition is known as the female gametophyte. The 8 nucleated 7 celled condition is known as the female gametophyte, or it is called as the embryo sac. Are you getting me? Is it clear to you now?